This seller lead came from Google Ads, but I didn't text them, AI did. In fact, Claude and ChatGPT worked together to get the job done. And within a few messages, it booked a phone call. Let me show you exactly how it works. Here we are in Lofty. I'm using the sales agent, which is built on Claude and ChatGPT. So if you go into the settings in the right-hand corner right here, where it has settings when you're logged into Lofty, then go over to Lofty AI where it says sales agent. So this is the AI that's built on Claude and ChatGPT. You can see the performance overall. It's working 1,546 leads right now. It's got 615 that are high priority, which means you should reach out to them for a bunch of reasons. But let me go into the settings that I have set up just so you understand how it works. Then I'll show you exactly the lead where this just happened with recently so that you can replicate it yourself. So you can click on the activities tab and you can see what it's doing in real time as far as auto emails, auto text, site message, updating lead. You can see what it's done, the text that it's sending, the emails that it's sending. It's great. And then in the settings, this is where you determine if you want the assistant to pretend to be you or act as an assistant. I recommend acting as an assistant and having a different name than yourself or anyone on your team, just for compliance reasons, as well as then you'll know when they talk to the AI assistant versus they talk to somebody on your team or yourself, just in the notes. So right here, I just named Anna. We put in the virtual number. When you click on enrollment, you'll be able to see the different ways that they enroll. So in this particular case, we're only doing Google pay-per-click, which is what these leads are coming from, and only when they're in certain pipelines, and we're doing buyers and sellers. So it's going to work buyer leads and seller leads. This one that I'm going to show you shortly here is a seller lead. So you can turn on website channel, meaning it's the actual settings when they're the chat bot, then when they're actually on the website, and then text channel and email channel are the other two that I recommend turning on. So let's jump over to the lead. So this is the particular lead in question that signed up May 30th. So today is April 9th. So this was less than 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to go to the very start and just show you what has happened with the lead. Another little tip that I want to show you is when you're doing Google Ads, make sure that your campaign ID right here is actually tagging in so you can attribute specific sales to specific campaigns so you know which ones are working and you know which ones aren't. This is also actually the keyword phrase for this particular customer as well. So they searched Hendersonville, North Carolina homes for sale, then they landed on the page, which I'm going to show you shortly, and then they signed up. So let's go down to the very, very bottom. And we're going to see they registered on the following page. So they registered on a sold listing page. So the hook was sign up and view sold listings effectively. And in fact, if you'd like the campaign for this, if you click below, there's actually a YouTube video that's linked in the pinned comment that actually has the campaign, how to get the cheat sheet, how to set it up for yourself, totally free. So just check that out if you like. So let's click on it and check out this particular page. So this page is showing all sold properties in a particular area. And the way it's set up is when they view the properties and they decide, okay, I want to see one of these properties, and they click on it, it's what we call forced capture, meaning it's going to pop up and it's going to say, okay, put in your information and create your free account. Just like that. So this is a really effective way to get people to sign up. And when they sign up viewing a sold listing the first time, they're going to sign up as a seller lead, as lead type in Lofty. Another really interesting fact is right here, it says the median price for this particular community is this amount. And if they actually want to know what their property is worth, they just input their information, the address for their home here, request a free analysis, and boom, you've not only have a seller lead, but you have their address, which is very similar to what happened in this case. Let me walk you through it. So let's go back here to the very bottom. So they signed up on March 30th. They viewed some properties for sale. They viewed some listings that actually have been sold. Then the sales agent texted them on the site and said, welcome, I'm Shayla, here to provide data-driven insights for your real estate decisions. Are you in the market to buy, or are you considering the sale of a property? Then it scroll up here, it actually created a market snapshot, so sending sold listings automatically to this particular customer. They were activated in the auto enrollment rules, which I just showed you, Google pay-per-click lead. Then they viewed some other properties, they viewed some sold listings. This particular customer viewed 3 sold listings showing strong interest in recently sold properties. It recommended a call follow-up that was automatically created for the particular agent in here by Lofty. Then they viewed another sold property. The agent reached out and said, hi, Randy, this is Anna from Keller Williams. I noticed you've been checking out recently sold properties. If you have any questions or want to discuss your selling options, I'm here to help. So the customer reached back out, texted, and said, just looking for comps to dispute over inflated tax evaluations. The sales agent said, I completely understand. Property tax assessments can definitely feel inflated sometimes. Comparing recent sales is a smart approach. Are you planning to appeal your assessment, or are you considering selling your property? Really critical question. The customer, yes, they're considering selling their property, which is great. So what it did is it actually tagged them as AI intent to sell, seller consultation requested, and accepted appointment. This is later on. So it tags as things are live happening, which is fantastic. And it notifies you as the agent in Lofty as well. So the sales agent said, got it. So you've been looking at both appealing your assessment and potentially selling. If you're thinking about selling, what's your timeline? Are you thinking to list soon, or just exploring what your property might be worth right now? Great question. The customer said, to the appeal in the near future, so I can sell on the sell, have to take care of a few things first. Okay. So then the sales agent said, that makes sense. Getting the appeal handled first and then tackling the sale when you're ready. When you say near future for selling, are we talking a few months out, or more like 6 to 12 months once everything's taken care of? These are great questions that the AI is doing. If you're a good agent, you're going to ask great questions like this, of course, too. But this is happening with hundreds, if not thousands of leads in your database, just automatically. If you do want to learn how to run Google Ads as well, I'm going to link my Google Ads school. I've been generating Google Ads leads for 15 years. Over 120 leads generated. My average cost per lead is $1.11. And there's a free course in that community if you want to learn how to do it on your own outside of just YouTube. So would you say near future or like 6 months or other things to care? But they said yes. So perfect. So somewhere in the 6 to 12 month range works for you. To help get a better sense of your property's value when you're ready to share, or when you're ready to sell, can you share the address? That way I can pull accurate comps and market insights for you. Boom. So then it actually gave, the particular lead gave the property address, which I'm blurring out here, of course, because it's a real person's address. So it says no big updates in the last 5 years, just repairs after Helene. So I believe Helene was a hurricane in that area, is my assumption. So then it says Brandy's profile deals were updated. So it updated the selling time frame was changed from not available to 6 to 12 months. So it's literally, as time's going on, it's adding these critical information pieces, which you can see right here, selling time frame 6 to 12 months. That was all done by the AI. Well, this agent was talking to other customers or doing something with their family. Who knows? Actually, this was 5:11 in the morning. So this particular agent was likely sleeping at this time. And just so you're aware, the agent in question here is one of my white glove customers, where I set up their campaigns for them, optimize them, get the really inexpensive seller and buyer leads, and then they can have this sort of stuff happen in the background and get really reliable lead flow. So if you do want more information about that, just join my Google Ads school. There's tons of free value, and there's information on how to get me to do that for you in there. Next up, so task, it automatically created a task saying to build rapport and guide them to the next step. Check their profile for key details the sales agent has gathered about their preferences and needs. And this was automatically created by the AI. So then the sales agent replies, thank you, Randy. I've noticed your property on Panorama Drive and your timeline. I'm glad you were able to get the Helene repairs taken care of. Shayla, the agent, has deep knowledge of the Asheville market and can pull detailed comps for your area, both for your tax appeal and to give you a realistic picture of what your home could sell for when you're ready. Would you like Shayla to reach out to you directly to discuss your property value and strategy? This is it, going for the appointment, going for the phone call. Randy pushes back a little bit and says, how long have they been in the Asheville market? Lots of people say they know it, but truly don't on paper. Just on paper, and paper can be made to say what you want it to. So this particular customer is saying they really want a true local expert. This is where you can really shine, because that is what you are. You're going to know at this particular area that you're getting leads for better than anybody else, or at least you should. So this is a great hook. Let's see what the sales agent says now. So that's a really valid point, Randy. There's a big difference between knowing the numbers on paper and truly understanding a local market, especially after everything Asheville has been through with Helene. Let me connect you directly with Shayla so that you can ask about her specific experience in the Asheville area and get a feel for whether she's the right fit. She can speak to her local knowledge firsthand and discuss how she'd approach your property and tax appeal comps. So it's addressing those two concerns. Would you prefer Shayla to give you a call, or would you rather set up a time to meet and go over everything in detail? So it's looking for a call, but if the person's up for it, they're looking for the actual listing appointment. We're going for the kill here, which is great. You can see the auto email went out that actually sends 2 properties that sold in that area. So now we know the area that this particular customer's in. We know their home address that they're thinking of selling. And if you click on it, you can actually see it gives market info for the last 30 days with sold listings with the information to contact the agent right here. It's just phenomenal, phenomenal stuff. Let's do this. Okay. Now we go up. Randy texts back after they ask for the call or the listing appointment. Call is fine at this point, just looking for info. Perfect is what the sales agent says. I've let Shayla know you're looking for comp info and would like to discuss her local market experience. She'll give you a call has the number that we're actually texting on. In the meantime, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Good luck with your tax appeal. Great texting back and forth by this particular sales agent. So then Randy sent an email to Shayla, manual, accepted CMA listing appointment. So what Shayla did, the agent, is she just literally booked a listing appointment. I'm not quite sure. I haven't talked to the agent whether this was in person or whether this was that phone call. I think it was the phone call, but it may have been the actual in person. And if they did, then obviously they did an actual listing appointment. So Shayla changed from new lead to working, which is the pipeline status here in my Lofty. Scroll up. System added to a smart plan owner. The outreach plan was added. Seller for clarification plan was applied by the sales agent. Shayla has a personalized automatic home report for the particular address in question. So that was sent out, but of course that's not going to be super relevant, or that's not going to be super accurate. You really, really do need to actually meet in person and do this. So the very least, Shayla is able to talk to this customer on the phone, build some rapport. You have the information to know that the most important thing to this customer is they want to appeal their tax assessment because they probably think it's too high and they want to pay less tax, and they're considering selling it. So this is a great window. It's not a cold phone call. It's a very, very warm to hot phone call. You know what their concerns are and you know what they're thinking of doing. So she can prep, the agent can prep for this and just become overly prepared and really wow this particular customer. If we scroll up, sales agent text, would you prefer detailed comps focused on your tax appeal or more geared toward planning a future sale? They say, okay, tax purposes. So that's their number one concern. They want to address this tax purpose issue first. So lean in with that as the agent. And then of course, once you talk to them and you figure out exactly why they're thinking of selling, that may take precedent. But for now, you know, this is the hook with this particular customer. Tax purposes, tax purposes, tax purposes. So sales agent replies, got it. Tax appeal comps are the priority right now. Shayla will focus on pulling the most relevant recent sales data to support your appeal. She'll reach out to you soon to go over those numbers with you. Then Randy said, yes, do you have any other questions? Do you have another question for you when we meet, and can we explain more then? So Randy's literally saying, hey, is there more information you need from me? He really wants a solid result here, and he really wants good, accurate information. This is so much further along in the rapport building than if you just called this person cold and you had none of this information. So this is really, really good. So the sales agent says, absolutely, Randy, happy to help with whatever questions come up. Shayla will have more time to dive into the details with you on the call. Looking forward to getting you the information you need. It updates the property performance on the particular address, so this will automatically go out as well. It creates a call task saying call to build rapport and guide them through the next step. Check their profile for key details the sales agent has gathered about their preferences and needs. And then it goes along. It's got more completed tasks. It's got Shayla, this is a couple days ago, said followed up with the CMI for a particular address and had a conversation regarding reaching out to a CPA regarding capital gains. So it looks like this agent actually had the conversation, maybe even had the listing appointment in person. Now they're following up with the extra information, and the CMA for this one is a different address than their home address. So they probably have an investment property and they probably have a home address, and they may be thinking of selling both. This is a phenomenal lead. So you scroll up, and yeah, this is where it left. This is built on Claude and ChatGPT. Lofty has done a really phenomenal job with this. I'm super impressed with it. This particular lead came in, and while the agent was sleeping, this was the end result. And it looks like they either had the listing appointment or they're getting very close to a potential sell or a couple sales. So I want you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I want you to join the Google Ads School that's in the pinned comment if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you in the community, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.